Demon's Souls is the first game in a series that harkens back to a time when the internet was still in its infancy, and to truly beat a game, you only had yourself and what little information you were given to rely on. The Souls series of games is infamous for pushing you to your limit and forcing you to learn from your mistakes, and Demon's Souls is no exception. It's a true epic of a game, and by the end, you'll feel that you've survived a real challenge and adventure. Released by From Software in 2009 for the PlayStation 3, Demon's Souls is considered the first official title in the genre referred to as Soulsborns. The game takes place in the dying Kingdom of Boletaria, where an all-consuming fog has been unleashed and is slowly engulfing the world. This is no ordinary fog, however. It's been brought about due to the King of Boletaria unleashing an ancient slumbering god and its unending demon spawn. Nearly all contact has been lost with the people of Boletaria by the start of the game, and despite the world's most powerful heroes venturing in to find a solution, no one has returned. You are the last of these heroes, and you may be the world's last hope. To dispatch the demons, at your disposal are a vast array of weapons, from longswords and giant axes to heavenly bows and magic-conducting staves. Many weapons have, or can have added, environmental types of damage like fire or magic too. Not only that, but most of the weapons also come with multiple types of attack that deal one or a number of different styles of damage like stabbing or slashing. You'll need to learn the ins and outs of this intricate combat system if you're to have any hope of surviving, and you'll want to explore every alley and corner the maps have on offer, as From Software has hidden all sorts of epic secrets and rewards that can be game changers in them. Demon's Souls took me about 24 hours to beat, and I loved nearly every second of it. From enormous castles to underground lava tubes and terrifying torture chambers out of horror movies, this game succeeds at keeping itself from getting repetitive with flying colors. This is necessary because many times you'll have to retry fights and bosses a decent amount in order to beat them, learning every move and weakness along the way. With the vast assortment of areas, you're allowed to take a break from one you're stuck on and make progress elsewhere, in a new environment with new challenges. Part of the difficulty in a Souls game, however, comes in a different form. This form will be the obscure nature of nearly everything in the game. The game will hide mechanics from you at times and force you to find them through trial and error. While this may sound annoying, it's actually one of the best aspects of Demon's Souls. Discovering something new never ceases to be satisfying, and always serves some purpose. At first, the vague nature of the story and characters' motivations may confuse you, as it did me, but I actually found it extremely satisfying by the end, as pieces of the puzzle are slowly revealed and the world starts to make a lot more sense as it goes on. Some side interactions and conversations can still be a bit confusing, however. Take this interaction I had with what I assume is a crow woman at one point.
You scary, give Sparkly me. Give Twinkly me. You trade, give me Sparkly, Twinkly. Me. You trade, give me Sparkly, Twinkly. Give Sparkly me. Give Twinkly me.
I did eventually figure out what to do there, but you can see that the game doesn't make it obvious at times. Another arguable flaw would be that the game becomes a good amount easier as you go on. Compared to a later game in the series like Dark Souls, this game is far easier, due in part to the abundance of healing items in the later stages. By the end, at times, I felt like I was the boss, and not the giant monsters I was facing. This could be dependent on your playstyle, however. Using a multitude of weapons and armor combos will leave you with very differing strengths and weaknesses, like being slower but dealing heavy damage, or being nimble but very weak. Demon's Souls is actually not available on PC, so if you actually want to play it, you'll need to own a PlayStation console to play the original or the remaster. In this case, I actually emulated the game using the RPCS3 PlayStation 3 emulator. This allows you to play the original game at any resolution you desire, and with some tweaks at 60 or 120 frames per second. The game looks fantastic here, despite being nearly 14 years old at this time. I'll leave a link to a recent tutorial on how to get the game to run like mine, and a link to the emulator in the description. The level design in this game is some of the best I've seen. The environment acts as another enemy of its own, and you'll be forced to learn to use and exploit it, because in many areas, like on sheer cliffsides and in deep swamps, you'll be at a severe disadvantage if you fail to do so. Dodging left and right and getting a block up at the last second from literal giants never gets old, and I can't say I've played many games that really capture the epic nature of these like Demon's Souls does. Demon's Souls feels like a perfect combination of Western and Eastern game development philosophy. Set in a Western-style fantasy world, the game oozes a style of its own. Everything is grand and grim. The world has such a sinister tone, but the fantastical elements manage to balance it out somehow. The story and characters all strike me as stemming from a more Eastern philosophy, with their purposefully vague and vibrant nature. Then we get to the music and sound, and I have to say, it's amazing. I'm of the opinion that sound design and music can really make or break a game, and this is no exception. For much of the game, a more minimalistic approach is used, where no music will be playing, but the audio of the world will be able to be heard in amazing detail around you. At a few points in the game, you'll actually have to rely on the sound of the world to guide you through important hidden areas, or alert you that a trap may be around the corner. This is yet another example of how thought out and complex this game world is as a whole. Then, when you get to an important area or a boss, the music kicks in and the epicness hits a new height. Barely escaping the swing of a boss's massive weapon that would have killed you, with the orchestra and chorus blaring in the background, never gets old, and seeing how the music is themed for each new area is always a treat. In the end, Demon's Souls is a must-play game for any RPG or Zelda fans. This is the perfect entry point for one of the best series of video games of all time, and it's truly an adventure worth remembering. For all these reasons and more, I'm giving the game a 9 out of 10.